may have to be separated. Are we on?
We're on.
Okay, all right. I call to order the regular meeting of the City of Aransas Pass City Council, November 1st, 2021 at 6 p.m. Would we all rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance? Donald, will you lead us?
Father, we just thank you for your wonderful blessings in our life. We thank you for sustaining us through these difficult times we have been going through in our community and our nation, our world. We're thankful, Lord, that we're not going to face anything without your grace and your help and your comfort. We just ask, Lord, for your help in this meeting tonight. Give our council and our leaders wisdom, and we just ask, Lord, for so many in our communities that are suffering and going through difficult times. We just ask that they be sustained by your grace and your mercy. And I pray, Lord, that most of all that we would love each other and show kindness one to another. We just ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We go to presentations and proclamations. The introduction of our new Director of Community Enrichment, Kaylin Paxson. All right, you moved awfully fast.
I want to take this opportunity to introduce you to the new Community Enrichment Director. We're very fortunate to have Kaylin Paxson. I'm going to ask her to come up and say a couple of words, but she has many challenges before her, and she's certainly up to that challenge of the directorship of that position. So, Kaylin, if you would like to say a few words, you're more than welcome.
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 Yes.
We're happy to have
Hello,
you.
everybody, and thank you, Gary. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Looks like someone's absent. I apologize.
Our mayor.
Mayor's
The mayor's out.
Sorry about that. I'm Kaylin Paxson. It is so exciting to be welcome to this team, and thank you all for such a warm welcome and a wonderful process of joining this team. I'm excited to come on board here in the near future and begin already looking over some of the pieces that I will have the great fortune of working with. It seems like we are all on a very similar page of wanting to work together in partnership and finding the best action routes and the best future plan for Aransas. So thank you so much for welcoming me, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank
excited
you.
to have you.
We are. We're excited to be working with you. All right, we move on to the update on the Con Brown Harbor bulkhead.
Mayor Pro Tem and Council, Javier, I talked with Javier today. He said what he has to report is identical to what he reported to you about a week ago. So consequently, I asked him, don't worry about coming in this evening. So he sends his best, but he'll report to you at the next scheduled time. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, now we will hear from Fernando Quintanilla on debris clearance plan for the Euclid pump station.
Good evening, Council. Now that we're getting our pump station operational, we're looking at the maintenance of those pumps, and not only that, but the ditch itself. We're having a lot of issues with the ditch, with sand and soil building up on the concrete ditch, and then getting its way into the wet well, and that's a reoccurring thing. I asked the guys to pull the reports on the work orders on how many times they've been out there. In 4 weeks, they did once a week. They went out there and scraped the mud. They're scheduled to go out there again tomorrow. When the railroad track came in and mowed, all that stuff made its way into our system. So they're still cleaning some of that stuff out. We do have the trash rack. Every time they're here to install it, we get a rain and it fills up again, and haven't been able to install it. One of the things we're looking at too, to help with the dirt, where the trash rack is going to go, we're looking at putting a straw sleeve at the bottom of it to slow the water down in that area to let the dirt settle. so that we capture that before it makes its way into the well when there's water running, because the rack will capture the big trash, but the dirt, and it's the issue we're having right now with so many failures in our system. Dirt keeps washing in there. Coast Materials, we have issues with their stuff running into our system. Code enforcement's already involved in that issue because all that's causing us problems. And when you see how much stuff they pull out of that ditch, I mean, like I said, in the 4 weeks, it was once a week that we're out there scraping that stuff. And if you go right now, what they're going to pull out tomorrow, it's a lot of dirt. So that's what we're looking at right now. The PM on the stuff, we're going to have the mechanic once a week be going in there, greasing, checking oil, belts. If there's any major issues that anybody notices, they have to document it on a paper, submit it to us, and then we determine whether that's something that can be done in-house or we have to get somebody that knows better to address the issue before it becomes a big problem. Like in the past, stuff was just being neglected and it continued to get worse. So that's where we're at right now.
You said a hay sleeve? Is that like bales of hay or?
No, it looks like a sock, and it's
Okay.
stuffed with hay bale. They use it for erosion control.
Okay, so it isn't something that can break
No.
apart and put, okay.
Originally, we had thought about sandbags in front to slow the water down, but eventually those sandbags are going to rip, and then that's just going to have dirt going through. So we looked at this option. We can actually tie it down to the bottom of that rack so it stays in place, and it'll let the water go through, but it'll capture that fine sand and stuff so that we can just clean it up from there instead of in the wet well.
Good,
Okay.
thank you.
Welcome.
All right, we move to the consent agenda. All of the following items of the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the September 20th, 2021 regular meeting and September 23rd, 2021 special meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and that moves us to the city manager. Consider an act on resolution casting votes for the Nueces County Appraisal District Board of Directors for term year 2022 to 2023.
And council had previously submitted nominations to the Nueces County Appraisal District Board, Place 6. And the item before you is to cast the actual voting for this position. And there's two nominees, I understand. That's from Leo Gonzalez and Erasmo Martinez.
And what was the name of Mr. Martinez's first name?
Erasmo.
Yeah, I couldn't get it, it wasn't opening up. Go ahead, make it.
I think, I make a motion that we cast our votes for the incumbent Leo Gonzalez.
I'll second.
She didn't.
Can I second? That's what I thought.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we go to, did I need to do something else on that?
No.
No, that was it, okay. Then we move to Development Services. Consider an act on ordinance granting a time extension of 8 months with condition of providing a progress report at the end of 6 months of approved rezoning application to Thomas Furlow of land from R7B Single Family Dwelling District and GB General Business to MH Manufactured Home District for an RV recreational vehicle park, being 526,335 square feet, 12.083 acres, lot ID 42527 15544 69920 13642 20775 71141 8809934 8810326 69921 and 14871 of southwest corner of West Guile and North Commercial Street in Aransas Pass, Texas.
Thank you. So this is an old application that was had during the 25th work session. It came up because the applicant was not able to start at the time that was given to him for the RV park of Commercial Avenue. And Mr. Tom Fellow came before you on that date and explained the reasons why he was not able to start the project. That included the certification and permit from the Wetlands Federal Commission, and also some issues with his drainage design. He was looking at how to tap into the city's drainage system close by, and he submitted some drawings and calculations for consideration, which we have looked. Engineering Fernando has looked at it, and he has some recommendations and alternatives that we need to look at. So based on that, you came to a consensus to allow him 8 months with the condition to come in and provide a 6 months review process of the start process of the project. And so it is before you today to officially act on it. And I recommend approval for extension of 8 months with the condition to come before the council during the 6 months period to give a progress report. Thank you.
I want to point out, it was just a discussion during the work session.
Mhm.
Okay.
And Mr. Furlow is on the phone if you have any questions.
No, I think he agreed to this, but you may have a question?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, he agreed to the 8 months and then coming back in 6 months or sooner to give us an update. So I'll make a motion that we grant a time extension of 8 months with the condition of providing a progress report at the end of 6 months of approved rezoning application to Mr. Thomas Furlow.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we move to consider an act on approving amendment to Grant Works contract
Wait a
project.
minute. You've got one there? The
Oh, did I
second?
leave one out?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry about that.
9-2.
Consider an act on the issuance of a request for proposals for Texas Department of Agriculture contract number 7218175 sewer improvements and first-time sewer connections for the following streets: Dinapat Lane, Benoit Lane, Owens Lane, Marshall Lane, State Highway 35, Service Road, Jenna Lane, Oak Lane, County Road 1838, County Road 114, County Road 4747, East Sherwood Forest, County Road 1866, South Sherwood Forest, County Road 4739, West Sherwood Forest.
So this project is one that we had pursued right before Harvey. We had gotten, it was 2 separate projects and 2 different grants. Obviously, after Harvey, we had people move out and new people move in, and we had to resurvey. We finally got to the point where they allowed us to combine it into one project to meet the numbers we needed. We're at the point where we're asking permission to go ahead and advertise. The plans are almost ready for review from the city, and at that point, we'll be able to go out for bid. So we're requesting permission to do so.
What kind of time frame before we go out to bid, do you know? Do you have a guess?
I would say about 2 weeks,
Okay.
hopefully it should be here within the month of November. And then hopefully awarding it towards the end of December and beginning of the year with construction.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, I make a motion that we authorize staff to publish RFP for the sanitary sewer connection project located at Sherwood Forest area.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now, we consider an act on approving amendment to Grant Works contract project number 7218175 by updating Section 3, Policy and Administration Milestones.
Mary, is Calvin here for that?
Yes, sir. He's available by Google Meet.
Oh, okay. Do you need further explanation on this? He has, if so, we'll pull him up. He's given a presentation on this already.
He was the one, right,
Yes.
okay, I do remember that, okay.
Okay.
No, I'm okay on it. Everybody else okay?
Yes.
Then I make a motion that we approve amendment to Grant Works contract project number 7218175 by updating section 3 policy and administration milestones.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That moves us to city councilor staff announcements.
Wow, we're there already. My goodness.
Yeah.
I want to remind everyone that the Fall Feast is coming up. That's on the 18th, if I have it correctly. And we're guaranteed a very large number of people, so looking forward to that. We're having almost weekly meetings to make sure everything is moving smoothly. And so far, everything is moving smoothly. But wanted to primarily remind you of that upcoming event. Also, the VFW Post want to make you aware, because you're invited, the council and citizens are invited to the VFW Post 2932 Vets Day Memorial and Appreciation Services, November 11th. And that's, let me pull this up, 10 a.m.? Okay, there we are. And again, you're invited as elected officials, and city and citizens also are invited to that. And the workshop meeting, we schedule one for November 22nd. And that is what's on the agenda so far, developer process. And you had asked for that. So at this point, we plan to have that on the agenda. Secondly, impact fees. Have asked if that's something you're willing to talk about. And yes, that was the message I got. You are willing to talk about it. But what I think we're going to do, and Mary's been helping out on this, and that is bringing people who in to talk with you. First, they'll talk with staff, and I think that's scheduled already, and then they'll come to you these are people from other cities who have experienced that already and can give us some good advice as far as impact fees go. So that's also on the agenda. And this is like the RV ordinance, which took a long time, and understandably so, and the wetlands ordinance, which took even longer, understandably so. I anticipate impact fees will be similarly long. Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised, but I anticipate it'll take a while to go through that. And there'll be a lot of people wanting to talk on that as we go through that process. And the transient boat dock is something the police department wants to talk about, is my understanding. So those are the three items as of this moment. As you know, it's dynamic. As far as the agenda items go, it changes. But that's what we have as of this moment. So, any questions? If not, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. We move on to citizens' comments, which are intended for matters that are not scheduled on the agenda. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes and state your name and address for the record. Be advised that the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the City Council from responding and discussing your comments. The law authorizes the following: make a statement of factual information, recite existing policy, advise that this subject may be placed on the agenda for a subsequent meeting.
Mayor and Council, I want to point out that we have a closed session item coming up called illegal dumping at the 1000 block of Myrtle. And there may be people in the audience, because they will not be going into closed session with us, to comment in open session any comments they may have on that particular piece of property. I know there's some people in the audience who may have an interest in that item.
Good evening. My name's Michael Dallas. My property's on 1770 West Myrtle. This is in regards to the 1000 West Myrtle. Right here. This is over 30 to 35 instances that I've requested, public requests that have occurred at this property. Code violations, drug activity, homeless squatter, you name it. I call it the compound. Okay, you have a way to step up tonight on this and do something. Corey Elrod has spent many a day, many a time doing his best. He finally got the chief involved, and I appreciate it if you do something. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Dallas.
Hello, my name is Ruth Camarillo Smith. How are y'all? We recently purchased some property out there on West Myrtle as well, December of 2020. During that time, it's been almost a year, 11 months. We've encountered numerous instances with an individual out there and the people that are squatting out there on the property, a little bit past our property on the right. Not only illegal dumping, but drug use. They vandalize our property. I have pictures of our broken gate. They rip off our signs, private property, no trespassing. Numerous times we've found abandoned vehicles out there. We've called tow trucks to come and get them. In the 11 months that we've been out there, it's been a constant issue, which Mr. Blanchard has been very receptive, Cody as well. It's just catching them out there because it's very frequent. We've started the process of clearing the property, but every single time we go out there, there's more and more dumping. There's tires now. We've already taken 2 truckloads of garbage to the dump. But just since then, we need to take another 2 truckloads. There's garbage, there's tires, there's all kinds of things. Mr. Patrick Heckler, I believe, or the people staying out there, because of course we don't have cameras out there yet, broke our gate. Out there, after our gate was broken, it looks like somebody rammed through it, broke it all to crap. I have pictures and everything. His driver's license was out there. I need to turn this into Mr. Blanchard as evidence. But there has been so many instances. Trespassing. We've tried to keep them on the property. Of course, the cops have to come out there and physically find them on the property. This last time I was able to get a couple pictures out there. Not just him, because he's also a drug user, but also the people that's squatting and staying on the property. They bring more trash, broken down cars, RVs. It's just constant. And so I would appreciate the council's leadership and involvement in just getting the trash taken out because it's just too much. I'd like to eventually get that place cleaned up, build out there, have my grandkids out there, my family out there, throw birthday parties. We just had a Halloween party last night, and I don't feel safe right now. It makes me sad. Like, I want to do those things, but this is in city limits, and I want to build a family and be able to enjoy my family out there. And being out there with those individuals, it's too much. So whatever y'all can do to help me out and help the community out, that'd be great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, we will go into executive session. Section 551.071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act to meet with its attorney to seek legal advice on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the city council under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meetings Act relating to illegal dumping at 1000 block of Myrtle Street.
And it's 6:24.
And it's 6:24. reconvene in open session to consider and take action, if any, on any item discussed in executive session.
I make a motion that we allow Chief Eric Blanchard to go out for RFPs on the illegal dumping at 1,000 block of Myrtle Street, so that we have a better understanding of what the expense is going to be. And then after that, we can start a discussion on funding options.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.